Hi, this is Jason, and welcome back again to For Yarn's Sake, where we're going to show you again just how easy it can be to create your very own handmade crochet gifts. Make it unique, make it personal, and make it easy. So we're moving right along with our skill set here. We've already learned how to make our slip knot, our chain, our single crochet, and our half doubles crochet, and we left off our swatch looking like this, with our chain on the bottom, our single crochets, and our half double crochets. And as you probably can guess, the next stitch is the double crochet. So go ahead and insert your hook. And in order to start this one, we've been chaining up one, but the double crochet is now tall enough for us to go ahead and chain 1 and 2. Now let's just go ahead and compare, okay? So let's go ahead and chain up 2 and turn our work and make a double crochet. And I'll go through this a little more, but I just want to show something here. And this is how it looks. Okay? Now, let's say we didn't chain at all. Pull out all of our chains, pull up our loop a little bit there, insert our hook, and just turned our work and made our double crochet, which depending on the application you can do, but then go ahead and make our first double crochet. You can see it's a little bit harder to get through, and it looks a little more squished here in the front. Now we take and chain up to match the height of the stitch we're going to use. So we'll go ahead again and chain 1 and chain 2, bringing us up the height of the double crochet. Turn our work, and you can see now that the stitch holes are much more defined. They're much easier to look and see and get into. Okay, so in order to make our double crochet, we start just like our half double, where we yarn over and have 2 loops on the hook, and then insert our hook into the stitch, draw up another loop, and now we have 3. And this is where it's going to differ from the half double. The half double, we just went through all 3. Now this one, we're going to yarn over, grab our hook, and we're just going to go through the first 2 loops on the hook, leaving us 2 more on the hook right here. And then we're going to yarn over and then pull through the last 2. And now you've made a double crochet, and you can see how much taller that is from the half double below it. Now once again, yarn over, and 2 loops on the hook, go ahead and insert into the stitch, draw up another loop, and now you have 3 again. Yarn over and pull through 2 and pull through 2, and there you've made a double crochet. And we're going to yarn over again, go through the stitch, draw up another loop, and then count them with me: 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now when doing a double crochet, you'll notice that the gaps in between the stitches are much more profound than the gaps between the half doubles or the singles. You can see right through it, and you can see how this stitch down here would be used for a tighter application, like making a doll or whatnot. And but this one up here, I mean, you would never want to make a doll out of that, because your stuffing would just go straight through it. Once again, yarning over, going through the stitch, drawing up a loop, so you have 3 on the hook, yarning over, pulling through 2, and pulling through 2. And then you just continue all the way down your practice swatch here. I hope you've all been saving your practice swatches and then just crocheting right along with me, going through. You notice I changed from from red to green. I think the green showed up a little bit easier on the camera than the red did. Then all the way down. Just keep going and keep going. And another benefit to the double crochet is much easier to count your stitches. Okay, there's one. Get it on camera here. 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if you remember, this was 10 wide, so we have 1 more stitch to go. If we just left it here, we would drop a stitch. And you can see how that would affect the final project. Not necessarily affect it in a bad way, depending on what you're trying to make, but it would affect it. If you remember me talking about how my first Afghan I made ended up being a triangle, well, that's how. By dropping or adding stitches on each row, it doesn't become square anymore. It becomes a triangle, and it'll just keep going down, down, down into a point if you let it get away from you. And you'll notice the last stitch is not quite as well defined. So you just have to look for it, and then go ahead and go through. See, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get in. Go through, push it through, draw up a loop. See, even someone who's been crocheting for many years can sometimes have a little problems getting it in. And I find that if that happens, you've more than likely gone through a stitch somewhere, and you're just catching some of the yarn, so it's not pulling through. So just pull your hook out, go back through, and then see how much easier it went through that time. You have to remember that your yarn here is not a single piece. I mean, you can turn it and it'll come open, and sometimes your hook will go through and catch some of those things, some of those little strands of yarn that the yarn is made up of. And if that happens, just slide your hook back out, turn it and slide it, and then try it again. And you have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And now you've just made your first row of double crochets. And then once again, to go to the next row, just chain 1, and then chain 2 to bring your height up, turn your work over, and do it again. Yarn over, find your first hole, go and draw up a loop, and now you have 3 on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now we're gonna go over patterns and all that kind of good stuff in later videos. But I have to say that I've been crocheting, like I said, I learned when I was 17 years old, and I only learned how to read a pattern about 1.5 years ago. So for all those years, I was just making it up as I go. And my oldest daughter, when she was just a little girl, I didn't buy any clothes for her. No, I mean hardly any. I would just make all the clothes that she would wear, and when she grew out of it, I pulled it out and made something different out of it. You can see how that would be not only a tremendous money saver, but also just all the comments that she got. It was amazing that oh my God, she's wearing all handmade clothes. How do you do that? Well, once again, it's our secret. Just how easy it can be to do. Now you've reached the end, so chain up 2 again, turn your work, find your first stitch hole, and once again let's look at the parts of the stitch, just like we did for the single and the half double. And you can see right here on the top, you can see the top and the bottom loops forming your little V and your post. And I've already hinted at before that the posts are used to make stitches as well. I mean, there are many different types of stitches that do different things and different effects and look big and scary and oh my God, I can't do that, but you can. You can do it. All it takes is the desire to do it and a little bit of practice. Not even a lot of practice, just a little bit of practice. Yarn over, go through, draw up your loop, 3 on the hook. You can count the stitches, the loops, 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And then once again, yarn over, go through 2, and go through 2. And you can see, I mean, just how easy it can be. Once you get the hang of it, you can sit and watch TV and barely even look at your work if you're doing something as simple as just making an afghan out of a single stitch. It's a very, very good way to calm your nerves, to relax, to focus yourself after a long, hard day. Just pull out your yarn, and you'll find yourself having excuses to crochet just because it's so focusing, and it makes your hands busy and leaves your mind free to think and to ponder and to wonder, or just watch TV. And once again, that's it. And now we have our swatches growing. It's getting bigger. Our singles, our half doubles, and our doubles. You can see that our 3 rows of doubles are now just about as big as our 6 rows of singles and half doubles put together. I mean, you can fold it over and see just how much bigger it would be. Which is why a lot of simple afghans are made out of half double crochets. The holes are a nice size to let it breathe, and the stitch is long enough so you can work it in a relatively short amount of time, depending on the size of your blanket or your afghan. So there you have it. We've made our double crochet. Thanks once again for joining me. I hope this helped you. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead and comment. I always like to see what people are doing, what they're learning. Post pictures of your projects and let me know what you want to see, or if you're having problems, let me know and I'll try to help you out. And come back and join us again.